Hi guys, my name is Selena, and I decided to do my paper. I decided to do my paper on the passage Leviticus 12.1 through 12.8 from the Old Testament. It discusses the rituals believed to be important around childbirth. It not only speaks about the ritual or the actual process of birthing a child, but the days during the fetus, when the fetus is growing inside the mother, and the days following the birth of the child. In this passage, the Lord describes in great deal to Moses what should and should not be done by the new mother. Um, in Leviticus 12.5, a mother who has given birth to a child is to be considered unclean for many days, depending on the gender of the baby. If a mother were to birth a boy, she is considered to be unclean for 40 days, but if she is to birth a female child, she's only considered unclean for 4 days. Since being a nursing student, I'm well aware that there's no physical differences between male and female babies in the process of the birthing. So I'm not sure why they have these rituals or traditions. The recovery period should be about the exact same despite the gender of the baby. Um, According to some sources I found, the difference in time of purification after the birth of a male and female is intended to mark the inferiority of the female sex, which was common back in the time when the Old Testament was written. In Leviticus 12.6 and 12.7, the days after the woman has given birth, she is now considered pure and must impure and must make an offering for the Lord. I found this also very interesting because they kind of make it seem like childbirth is a sin. Um, Actually, they have to make this offering to the Lord by either bringing a lamb for a burnt offering or a young pigeon or turtle dove for a sin offering, because it does say that childbirth is a sin and you will be unclean. Um, According to some rabbis and research I found, they said the sin offering of the new mother is a prophylactic offering. It's the moment the woman re enters ordinary human interactions after her period of impurity. She brings the offering to symbolize her commitment to refrain from sin. Furthermore, in Leviticus 12.2 to 12.3, it talks about the ritual of the circumcision of a male baby. It states that the child should be circumcised on the 8th day after birth. I believe that this scripture intends to state that a child is not considered to be in covenant with the Lord or God, nor under his protection until this operation has been performed. Um, According to the Cambridge Bibles I found during my research, that the 8th day was chosen because this is the time believed that a baby could have enough strength to bear this operation. Back in the day, they didn't have surgical access to surgical anesthesia and stuff like that, like we do now. In Leviticus 12.8, the Lord described to Moses the ordinances that must be followed by a mother and baby surrounding the growth of the new fetus. He described these processes in great deal as the end goal to regain purity for the mother and to gain purity for the child. They want a good foundation for the child to be able to build a covenant with the Lord. The scriptures, Leviticus 12.1 through 12.8, describe many rituals and practices for the new mother that she must abstain from, including sexual relations, eating certain foods for the 40 days following the birth of the child. The Lord deemed these actions as necessary in order to regain purity. The scripture also stated that women must offer sin offerings, like I said, to repossess her purity as well. Um, yeah, I hope you learned something new.